Hey there, mates. This is Discovery Scouts, the Pirates of the Caribbean film series here. And today is May 27th, 2017, Saturday. So, the guy, I have a narrator, guys, about the dialoguing for Alexandra Daddario for he presented it by the since 2002. Year active has the 2005. That was spending about for the last 12 or 15 years. So she's joining the favorite actress and director here, and Zac Efron, he was as the actor from High School Musicals. So we're gonna have to do something for Alexandra to have the questions for the TVs and movie shows and video games and music videos, and I had a lot to be on much of the time the voice and doing the girl and play actor the TV shows and TV series and movies also they have here. Movies first. The Squid and the Whale. The Pretty Girl wasn't easier than about all the rumor characteristic. She went into the high school for about the last 12 years ago, and she's deciding to be the rumor friend there for interested for I was a kid. She had spent a lot of time about 12 years ago. She was asking about the place, the Pretty Girl. They don't know Alexander's the name of it for the Squid and the Whale. Let's do that for any time. So short film, Conviction, Vanessa. She plays a whole life about the boy. The boy was the rumors to kiss the boys. One of the reasons about the January 2006, Vanessa was figured out wasn't involved. She wasn't designing that supposed to be about the movie shows. They were trying to ask you about they tried to asking the guy was. She says, "I'm getting out of here." She says she tries to get it out of the house. She has no idea what she's saying. She's trying to walk out of there. She was about to walk out of the apartment, and she just walk away. Her boyfriend was broken up, and the babysitter, the hottest date, the girl in the bar, Kim Ye, plays Kim. She knew the reason to have the Kim was on the bar. She has the place, the hottest dates is there ever. She was very most nasty things to the two guys there ever. The one of the harder one of the souls about for the last 11 years. She same thing about the rumors there for the two guys did. She knew the reason for why is that what happens there. She has it in different involved. She has in the different things about the very most interesting, and she has to do once in the very moment. She forgot something about Kim was insanity was walk out of there since he decided to meet the bar. She says, "You guys are so disgusting." The Kim says, "Don't even think about it. Don't even touch it. Don't even touch me." God. The babysitters, Barbara Yates. So she plays Barbara while she's doing while she's ending up for the junior years. She starts in the senior year since 10 years ago, and been there a lot. The babysitters like River of Captain Watersons. She plays a lot of them working on the Alien Covenant with Michael Fassbender. When Barbara was literally calling his phone, the guy was under the sex for her roommate boyfriend. What she just considers was every spend a lot of time to see the good credits for it for the high schools, romantically, and during most parties in the house, and it's also have waiting for the classrooms and talking to each other while they lesbians girls and the guy and the included guys wants the little bit good reasons. She was awkward. She was designed. She was script. She was different. The Jonas Brothers 3D, The Concert Experience, 2009. Girlfriend. The reason they have the walkout on there on the Central Park. Joe Jonas, Nick and Kevin Jonas, Joe, Kevin, and Nick Jonas. They have a Jonas Brothers. They have a play in the park. One of the girl holders of the boy's hand is one for the reason to have about 35,000 people and the 15,000 children and the kids was. I haven't known about. I love those things about the Jonas Brothers that have been about for the last 8 years. I see Alexandra first mentioned only for 2009. She would only to watch this on the where you done the concerts, clapping their hands, all the applause. She's pretty nice with you. And they're including guest stars Demi Lovato and Taylor Swift. They're all the different experiences on the two things. So I think she would think about moments I ever forget. And Percy Jackson film series in the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, 2010, and Alex plays Annabelle Chase. She was sentenced in July 2009 through sentenced to the February 13, 2010. She was a different. He plays Logan Lerman. He is one of the producers of the new friend Percy Jackson from Jason Fuchs, and once the different for plays Brandy T. Jackson. Jake Abel-Knows plays Grover Underwood, and Luke Castellan. They are the most different Olympians besides the Fox 20th Century. They really also the co-assistant to live actions to the Rick Riordan. He sends later about the sense that were made 2007. When Percy Jackson books on the fifth movie was Deciding Nation came out for the last 7 years. What Annabelle was crushing for Percy was secretly she almost get kissed. She fights over my daughter to Athena and son of Poseidon and can't even tell. Lover Talia Grace and son of Hermes and Lord of the Saturns. It was a think about it. It was the best friends for Percy, Annabelle, Luke, and Grover was insanity for first mention for why he's driving through Grover's sadness for Talia's grace. They were outnumbered. He says, well, she will find your way but misses you very much. Let's see, next thing, 2011, Hall Pass. She plays Paige since February 23rd, 2011. She was thinking about for Paige was doing it over from 20 through 21 for this year. She's planning on doing the party play Owen Wilson's, and he has the Mr. Mills was insane. Do you like the parties? And they said, move along, go to college class, and she was dreaming about the beers party, but the police just freeze enough to get busted. They busted Mr. Mills, and she says, "Get out." She says, "What?" She's very ugly for he's ugly for him for no reasons. What can I say? Paige meets Mr. Mills on his party. Excuse me. And he saw who was driving. He walks faster into the hotel and around there and around. Wanted to baseball for the reason she saw them. She walked into the baseball fields, and she was saying, "See you tonight." She's 21. Paige only thinks about what the mother was. What's it as a saying? And she was freaked out what he's doing the shooting with gun footings outside the hotel. Wasn't it the property? It wasn't the production on my live action to being unrated movies. Alright, 2013. Texas Chainsaw 3D. Heather Miller, as known in the Master Creed there, plays Leatherface. He plays Dan Yeager, and Very Crush Scott Eastwood. Trey Songz. Only one think about it for the gallows here. Once we have all of the inspirations, Heather was very crushed on him for his boyfriend named Ryan, and she was walk alone to very memories today to who died about the last 39 years ago. That was Heather's parents. That's in the Miller's family who kicked to kill Heather's mother and his father, and Heather's mother and her father was gone. She was surrounded by the Texas police. She did not know. She did not know to freaking out. She got freaked out. She was horror movies. Leatherface was cut through his fingers, and it slams her until the passed out. And she would escape from the haunted house mansion. She ran around for the fair. She ran around the Fairfields. She ran around the Carnival Fairs building, and police officers just almost thrown down from the chainsaw by Leatherface. And his dad was the officers. The Birdman was underestimated. He says she just escaped from a sheriff's department. She wouldn't say she didn't believe it, and she could wanted to talk to the guy who killed them people, who killed the Heather's best friend and her boyfriend was crashing through the car for aftermath. But she's on the police car. She literally almost stabbed officers. Was under arrest for her. She was tired up. She can't tempt him for no reasons, and she was considered crazy, horrified, and terrifying, and terrible happens. She could done enough. She would found it. She found a necklace to see about thanking for his father, named Heather Felton. Her last name is Ferna. What should I gonna do after the credits? Percy Jackson in the Olympians, Sea of Monsters, 2013. So Percy tries to climb up there. Annabeth and Grover was challenged for watching for Clarice while she wins. She formerly didn't like it if Clarice wins. Percy's lose. She got injured and wounded really bad on the left into the right arms. Beside her, he was almost fell over beside the ground on the obstacle tower. The Oracle gamer size was winning from Clarice was playing Lever Rambin. Douglas Smith was included first mention for the first appearance. She asked into the saying they have supposedly they're saying she was a good idea. What can I say? So she knew that she walked over about playing Annabeth was playing Logan was very most crushing when dating for the 6 years past for his life. For he was 21, she is 27. For he is 29, and she was 23, and 28, and 26. So is they. So they have different to see adventures to Social Land. To Psycho says for the Tyson plays the Douglas Smith. They didn't have no idea what is escaping from Camp Half-Blood. what did Dionysus says from he plays Stanley Tucci? He plays Mr. D. While he wasn't gonna have to most of the quest of the Golden Fleece was in the Sea of Monsters. The Corabidus like the Kraken's mouth. Grover was kidnapped. Annabeth, Percy, and Tyson was find a way for the kidnappers. That was the Chris Wawasku's. Luke's bad guys. There's been a betrayal by Talia Grace was poisoned by Luke was on a tree after they defeated the Caucasus Bull and decides Scorpion Wolf and it's on the cruise ships just a little bit on the ships on the boat. They have the pheromones she was insanity was Annabeth talks about his best friends. Luke was former to the Camp Half-Bloods unwelcome. Now in the brig, they're escaping from the boat, and they decide to the lifeboats was Hercules wins. They decide about 65 feet tall, 65 miles per hour for the ship, like the cars. Tyson holds it from Percy. Was it very curiosity? No idea. Was it about long time from young stories. Young Annabeth and young Talia was died in about to Cyclops attack. Who is deceived for who killed Talia? That was about stopping the lifeboats, and that was during sharks. There are no sharks. That was a Carbonardus. It looks like about the Kraken's mouth. That was almost gonna drink and eat it inside of the submarines and the boat and this body in its stomach. It looks like about the rainbow slide in its body, and they're hearing that the Clarice she's on the submarines and the zombies, and she better have to end it. While Percy was shooting with the guns with his body, I'm sure they're gonna eat this. While they're taking cover with the beside the water things, submarine's rifle guns was killed. The Carbonardus and his body was defeated, and he opens the water with the submarines, and 35, 33, 32, 31. That's the four numbers. That's the Khaleesi. Like the idea like a taxi, like three ladies has no eyes, so one eye at a time. We searched over the social land to find Grover, and Tyson didn't mention that the Cyclops. Who did happen the disaster on the fair, just like the social land, like the Disneyland. There was a sort of it's a small and around the world. That was so old about the coasters. That was the destroying things, and who had the find Grover thing? He designation for passengers from the Cyclops. That's the really giant ones about. Everything most knows it about almost 25 feet tall, almost about 20 feet tall. It was living inside there, the social land. Grover was reunited with the Percy, Annabeth, Clarice, and Tyson, and they were going up for the escape. They were going up for the escape to steal the Golden Fleece, to take the Talia. And he catches the fleece, and they escape from the Cyclops. And Luke's bad guys was captured and surrounded, and he's got the crossbow. It killed Tyson on it, and they got surrounded, to the Rise of the Chronos by Luke Castellan, and she's got the pen of the sword, and Glover, Percy, Annabeth, and Clarice was ready to fight, and to see how Luke's fighting Percy was every motion to almost kill him. He saved his brother. He says, "Hi, brother." He says, "Thank him for very much." But Kronos was reunited, was rising up to his about new villains. He would have answered that he tries to almost eating the human like Luke and Grover, and the bad guy was panically to run away. When the Scorpion Wolf was fighting Percy, and he defeats Kronos. When Annabeth was killed by the Scorpion Wolf, she dies, and the creatures are defeated. After the hippocampus ride, that was a good reason about just like Santa Monica, California. When Annabeth was retrieving to revived with the Golden Fleece, and Clary was at the quest to revive her for Talia Grace to release the shield to the window, and Annabeth was guarding from Talia's Grace, and Percy was found her, and they were sad. She was reunited. Everything's alright. She sort of being like it about the Talia's Grace. She was confused and shocky. She was lighted up for like Kronos. They're in it now. Life in Text short film. One of the texts in it has to the boyfriend do. The scene like in the text messages to like the pictures. She thinks about the hugging, going out for restaurants, Halloween, and dance, and homecoming, and the Dodgers fans, and walking with a dog named Levon. Text in the messages she would decide to see on very most bearings. She was dancing like a romantic love, and she would be broke up for him mentioned first, and she deleted his phone. She deleted her Haley Green, and she can't see him a long time. Burying the ex. So Olivia, she works in an ice cream for a reason about from Max, and Evelyn was her ex-boyfriend. She got most romantically, very most sarcasm, and calmly. She is happily. She was killed by the bus. She has a reason that Max was killed. Max was happened. When Evelyn killed by the bus, she's dead. She's not gonna see him for a long time, and Max was sitting here alone to meet Olivia, what is truly impressive, while he was sitting on the ice cream cone while he's closing the door. And Woodbine Hollywood Cemetery wasn't really most battering enough, and they're seeing Evelyn's reunited. She transformed like zombies. She came into his apartment. She reasoned and a half of Halloween times, like Olivia was true loving for kissing for Max, play Auntie Yelton. Who would decide to also they have it to do so sometimes? All she learns it about very most important. She executed a lot of going out for movies for a cemetery, and Cooper was fighting by invited by Evelyn. She is a half zombies. She was deceiving to sex in the car. She was the biker, also furring bearings, and she knew right away. She was a kind unfortunately loving things. She decided to get married after that. Olivia and Max was kidnapping. She was fighting for Olivia. She was fighting for Evelyn. Was kidnapped Olivia. She's on the ice cream. Who did this about destroying the ice cream inside like Baskin Robbins, and she tied her up in the net with the chair. She slapped it and tortured. She spanked him. She had no reason. She's talking about why she has to sacrifice. She has a little bit torture, and she considered to freak out, horrify Zombieland, and she considered to kill the man. She barely died. She barely back to the dead for the buried. They needed to hurry up and bury her. She nearly alternated ends. She the most different being kind about the horror story movie. That's just couldn't end it. Alright, San Andreas disaster film series on the earthquake in the zombie. Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Las Vegas, Nevada, and the faults, and San Francisco. And Blake Gaines played his dad, Dwayne Johnson. Raymond Gaines, Emma Gaines as Carla Gugino. Ian Glover as Emma's boyfriend, played Daniel. And she recently have the swimsuit like the bikini. She was hotter on her house, like most of the presented to newest then. While he's meeting a guy named Hugo Johnstone Burke named Ben, and his brother Ollie, play Art Parkinson. The reasonable who wise that meeting with a friend here. When Blake's love interesting was romantically after that the earthquake wasn't the kiss. She was trapped in the car like a tunnel, and the limo. She was escaping from San Francisco. She was going to walk out to call his dad to call her dad. To wise Daniel to let her go. She says she's gonna kick him ass. What he had done? She asked her different. He had no idea what she's saying. She was so stupid. She was so stupid and kind. What did she say? She believed in. She the most interesting. I actually heard about running up there to the dam. She was a kiss. She was also to kiss Ben, and she gets the water, and she gets drowning underwater and deeper, with after the zombie floods in the flow, and she resurrected, and revived like CPR did, and they're safe and there into the mountain to San Francisco, and we're back into the building, and we finding a place, a new home. Blake was the love interest with Ben and Ollie. Romantic the choice, Monica, and she plays the love interest for Benjamin Walker. Travis Shaw. She was considered to seem Teresa Palmer knows Gabby Holland. She knew, and she was walking over to the hottest things on side of the boat, which is really most important to look for the girl saying thank you very much. She says hot. She drinks beer. She get a lot, and Carnival Fahrenheit. she was also interesting for the first moment. If she forgot something meaningful, Ryan McCartney played Tom Welling, Tom Welling, and she was playing for the boyfriend Gabby was consideration to meet for Travis and Monica who loves this kiss. For the sunny time, was it the kiss on the boat? She decided to call Travis. Wasn't dialysis ignored, and she was meeting her after the Gabbies broke up, and in the night, and then she spent a lot of time with Travis. Was in the nighttime, and she spends a lot for the 10 years for Monica was broke up. She's gonna break up for Travis. Was just saying goodbye. She just walk out to go home. She can't see them once again from Travis. So this is the end of the movie. Alright guys. I'm gonna be right back guys, so I'm gonna have to take a lot about 10-minute break. See you soon.